So yeah, Bradshaw and I had the unique pleasure to see all three extended cut films of Lord of the Rings.
Yes, we did.
And I don't know if it was same for you, Bradshaw, but this is like the first time since I saw them in theaters since they were released individually and the theatrical cuts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and this was an experience because it was a full marathon starting at like what was it, 11 or no
Oh,
12? It was like started.
noon.
Yeah, it started at noon. Um, didn't have previews for any movies before each one,
Probably
which
good.
was great.
Yep.
There's breaks like what would you say, 10-minute breaks between
20
each
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yep.
Um, so yeah,
Roughly.
Bracho, you said it was your first time seeing the Two Towers extended cut and the Return of the King extended cut.
Yep. Yeah, because I never had them on DVD or anything. And I watched the one night when I had some time and I saw they were on Max. I watched the Fellowship extended cut.
Mhm.
That was it. So I hadn't seen like I'd seen though, like Lane was bringing up like the beginning of Two Towers I wouldn't have seen, but it was the origin of Gollum situation, but I had seen that before, so
Oh, that's so
so
good.
that I
Yeah, it's
must
the
have
beginning of
seen a scene
Return of the King.
online or something. But yeah, Return of the King. Yeah, I must have seen
Did
that
you
online or something. But
just really quick to interject? Please tell me that you did what I asked you to do and like delivered that
oh
message
shit,
to Lane.
I forgot. I
I
completely forgot.
Damn
remembered.
it! God
No,
fucking damn it!
I remembered,
'Cause-
but Lane actually dipped out from one of the full like films. Like he sat through
Stepped out like
part
an
of
hour
the
into
the
Two
second,
Towers.
yeah, Two Towers. So like,
Okay.
and I was sitting like directly in the center top row, and I was in between a guy that was on a date, and we'll get into this. This was the experience that I
Oh
had.
God, a date for a fucking 7-8 hour marathon.
No, here's the
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
His date only stayed for the two films.
12 hours. Yeah.
His date was
Yeah.
for two films, and then I was sitting next to some like Zoomer girls that were just the whole
Yep.
time like with
We
when
were on the other
something.
side of these Zoomer
And
girls.
yeah, they were on the other side of them, so like I was sandwiched in between these two people. I had nobody sitting next to me, so I had like a super seat that could recline.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, the guy and his date, the whole time he would like say a line before the line happened, and
Oh
then
my
when
God.
the line happened, he would just like chuckle and be like, and then he would say stuff like, "Oh," or "Huh." Like he would like what I interpreted as like he was doing Link jump noises, like he was like.
Oh, I just imagine it like the scene in Fellowship when they're going up the pass of Caradhras and Frodo tumbles in the snow, and when he first falls down, the guy just goes, "Oh." Like,
So
he's like making these little comments on what they're doing in the
Well,
movie.
that was a funny part that like I like I knew the lines that were coming up too when he would say them, but I like I was being a pleasant theater goer because
Dude,
like,
I would have been like, "Shh, stop it now."
just. But he also got his like date into doing the same thing, and they were like saying the same lines
No,
like together before they would happen, and
it's not okay. It's not cute.
then the Zoomer girls. One of them probably not
bruh.
has not seen it. Yeah, they
One
were
of them
just like
definitely didn't see it. One of them definitely had never seen it.
so when there was like spooky parts or like parts where like a evil person would say something to the characters, this girl would like put up her fist like fisticuffs and like go like this and like punch at the screen, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you punching her like the air?
Like, how old?
Early 20s.
Early 20s.
What?
Early 20 nerdy
Okay,
girls.
Okay.
Early 20 nerdy girls.
And then she would say stuff like after somebody said a
Bruh.
line that
So
was
full-blown adult is what you're saying. Yes.
after
Yeah.
somebody said like a really harsh line to one of the characters, she would just say bruh.
Yeah.
And it was just like
I heard that a couple times.
multiple times throughout the film, like bruh.
Yeah.
Like
Bruh.
when the mouth of Sauron shows up and he's like smiling
Yeah.
and cheesing, she's like bruh.
Yeah.
No, I would have gone and spoken to the ushers and been like genuinely, like you need to tell these people to shut the fuck up because I'm not here to listen to the peanut gallery. I'm here to watch these
She
movies.
there's a couple times where people were crying.
Yeah, there was like good on the guy with the
When
date. He started bawling when Boromir was giving like his little death speech,
Yeah.
like to Aragorn, and like there was not a dry eye
he
there.
just
Like
teared
you just everybody's
a bunch of
sniffing
them.
and
I would have.
And then also at the end as well, when Frodo is saying bye to everybody, and before he gets on the ship to sail
Yep.
west,
Yep.
there's a bunch of the girls next to us were bawling. The Zoomer girls,
Hell yeah.
both of them were bawling. And then the people to the right of us, or the right of me, maybe a couple seats. Well, Tyler, you were by us towards the end, right?
yeah, I sat with you
Yeah,
guys
you
in
moved
the
over.
Return of the King, the whole Return of the King.
Yeah.
Because I could not deal
But-
with that guy. And
But the people to the right of you were also crying there as well. They were also crying during the Boromir part. Yeah, you could. There's a bunch of during that too.
Why nobody cried during death of Theoden King? I like
I
reading
thought
or not
when
reading,
when
but-
Theoden, or no, not Theoden. Yeah, they did when he was talking about his son. Like, no
Yeah.
parent should have to bury their child. The guy
Yeah.
next to me was like just in shambles.
I mean,
They're,
fuck that. That sequence can be a tearjerker for sure.
It definitely is,
One
especially
thing,
Bernard Hill. He
Oh
sells
god,
it.
he's so good.
He's amazing
so
in that
good.
movie.
one thing that always that I was reminded of is just how many goddamn memes are in those movies. You know?
Yeah.
It's
And
like
so,
almost constant.
Yeah. So like throughout, like every time they get to one, you'd hear like a low murmur. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then but then there's a couple ones where it got a little louder, where it was like when Viggo Mortensen kicks the helmet.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Our whole,
Like
our whole
everybody's the
theater
low
was like,
rumble of the. Oh, you know, in that scene and Lord, so like
Oh my
that was
God.
louder, and then of course when fucking potatoes happened,
Potatoes. Yeah.
everyone got into that too.
I guarantee
You could
the
hear
guy,
a bunch of people
I
just
was
low,
waiting-
low rumbling.
I was waiting for the
Boy,
guy
yep.
to say something about broken toe, because he goes,
Yeah.
and like he even said, and broken toe, and I was like, oh
Yep.
my god, and then but like
And
everybody
they-
else
yeah.
like in front of them were saying like, broken toe, broken toe, broken toe, and then
It
he
starts
even
out-
like chimed in saying, yep, everybody knows.
Yep. It starts out quick because like within the first handful of minutes you get fucking keep your secrets. That's like right off the
Yeah,
The
bat.
wizard is
yeah.
never late,
All right,
nor is
then.
he early.
Well,
You
okay.
can't simply walk into Mordor.
Does
right
it
in there,
does it
like-
make me like an uber grump to feel like I don't want to know? You guys are recounting like specific things that people said, and I don't.
Yeah.
Excuse me if it makes me a fucking like asshole or something, but I don't
Yeah.
want to know what anybody else in the theater has to think
Oh, I
or
know.
say
No, me either.
until we're out of the movie theater.
And it's not that type of movie either. It's not like a Rocky Horror where it's like an
No.
interactive film. It's like,
yeah, like there's a
there's-
time and place. Sure, absolutely.
yes,
It's
this is
just
not the
there's so
film
many
for it.
goddamn memes.
But
in
if
it.
you're like not into the movie and you're just like
Yeah.
riffing for no reason, or if you're just disrespectful, like please just stop.
Yeah, no one was super like outside of the like annoying shit Tyler dealt with. Like, no one was like really annoying throughout the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was
We should-
fairly fine.
We
At
should
the
all
mean
be
part,
in, we should all
it
be
was just
encased
kind
in plexiglass boxes so that we can not
Yeah.
smell, hear.
Oh, that's
like,
another thing, Wilson. Oh my god,
anything.
could you imagine like
Oh, yeah.
a 12-hour film fest
No,
and
turns
we're,
out-
by
we're
the
stuck
my
in
God.
a freaking theater
Yeah,
with
turns
people
out you
eating
keep a
hot
bunch of
dogs and
people in the theater.
popcorn.
for 12 hours.
Slurping on their fucking Slurpees
walked
and their
in.
sodas and
Tyler had commented on it that it like kind of smelled a little bit in there. And when I came back in after like I don't know if I went to the concessions or bathroom or something, but I came back in and noticed it. It's kind of that thing I've noticed it at work when I walk into like the event center when a bunch of fucking sweaty nerds have been hanging out for a while. But it's like you hit a wall. That's just like a wall
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
of like condensation, you know, like it's like a different atmosphere kind of.
Yeah,
It's
it's just like
humid.
It's just like
It's a
an
little
area that
humid.
doesn't have like good enough circulation, really, and
Yeah.
like
Well,
Yep.
ventilation.
here's to set the
And
Yeah.
scene
just the
for you.
mass of bodies anywhere will do that, you know?
Yeah,
Yep.
to set the
And so
scene
it's
for
just
you,
like
we had
yeah.
a winter storm that was happening during this, and before this, like it's been super nice, and there was a prediction of like 7 to 18 inches of snow predicted when we went to watch the film. It started around the time where
7 to 18.
yeah, just a random
Wow,
like
what
figure
what a
that
range!
it changed
Yeah.
throughout the day
Well,
too.
we ended up like almost 3 maybe.
Yeah, and
Like we didn't
the
get
thing.
that
Like it
much.
just ended at 3.
Yeah, that's always how it is.
So
I was gonna say, Fargo.
Yeah,
so what happened was that we're sitting for the first one. Like I came out after the first film to like check on the weather, and it was like pretty mild. It was just like wet snow, so it was almost like just drizzle or rain.
Mhm.
And so we think that, because of the forecasted weather report, that they probably turned off the AC for the theaters
oh
or the
yeah,
ventilation.
wow.
So
Not a good idea.
As
that
you know-
didn't help.
You know how movie theaters like they constantly got that AC cranked like a motherfucker in there,
Yeah,
and it's always chilly. It was not. It was warm in there, so it's like they
Ooh,
must have had it
just
turned out
We're all baking
because
together.
it might be cold. Yep. So like
I'm
yeah,
sure
when I
that didn't
walked
help.
in after Tyler had talked about it, it was like I said, like you kind of hit that wall where it's like almost another atmosphere. It was kind of humid in there, and it just vaguely smelt of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like not necessarily like BO, but just like people.
Yeah, it
It's
smelled
like
like
there's
people had like
organic-
being
hot dogs
in
and
one
hot
spot
food.
for a long time together.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but,
other than that,
Oh, hold.
Go ahead.
I would really like to dig into Eric. You said you've not seen the extended cuts of
Mhm.
Towers and Return of the King. So
And
what did you
honestly-
think about like the scenes that you noticed to be extra?
There's some I did notice. I was talking with Lane about it, where it's like it's been so long since I've watched the theatrical cuts too,
Mm-hmm.
that like most of the time I'm not gonna notice if something was like in it or not. There's some things I know that weren't, and then there's some things that I could just by like the way things were placed, I knew was like a quote unquote new scene or a scene that wasn't in the theatrical cut.
Sure.
Yeah, just
But
like
there's a lot
like
of
I
stuff
said,
in
the
there too
mouth
that
of
are just
Sauron
like
part, or the cheesy guy that shows up at the Black Gate. He wasn't in the theatrical cuts.
right, and they but one of the things too with there's a lot of scenes in there that are just longer too, so I might, you know what I mean, so it's like I may not have noticed because they were scenes that I knew were in there, but just they were longer and I didn't remember how,
extended.
you know what I mean. Yeah, so like there's some of that, but there's like there's specific times where I'm like, oh, that has to be, or that definitely is. Like there's a scene in, I think it's Return of the King. Yeah, it is. It's when they've got the it's before the fight, and they've got the Palantir in whatever, and like Aragorn goes in there and
Oh yeah.
Takes off basically to talk shit to Sauron real quick.
Throws it down. Yeah.
Yep. But I was like, okay, the start of that scene and the end of that scene, like it kind of comes in without any build up and kind of goes out and then goes into the next thing. So I was like, so this definitely seems like an added scene that they filmed to put in at this spot, but it was deemed unnecessary, so they just took it out. Like that's what it
Yeah.
felt like when I saw
Yeah.
that scene. So I was like, at that scene, I could tell. I knew it was like that. That's definitely one that they added.
Another example of like the same thing where it's like probably felt that it was unnecessary and cut it for that reason. In Fellowship, it's when Boromir and Aragorn are in that like some chamber in Rivendell where the shards of Narsil are.
Yeah.
There's like a
Aragorn's just cold chilling, and fucking Boromir's just walking around and comes across it.
yeah, like I think that is a little bit longer than the theatrical cut. And there's other examples too. But the reason that I wanted you to deliver that message to Lane was, I'm not aware of who's seen what,
Yeah.
Having said that, I am
Mhm.
fucking confident that Lane has already seen the extended cuts.
Yeah.
Um, but like, I think that's one of my favorite scenes that
What
I'm
was it again?
pretty sure was extended. It's the scene where Aragorn, Gandalf, Gimli, Legolas, I don't remember who else, roll up to Isengard after Saruman's been defeated and
Yeah.
it's all flooded and shit, and Merry and Pippin are just straight chilling, like
Mhm.
feasting and smoking their pipes, and
Smoking.
like I think yeah, Pippin says like the salted pork is particularly good.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And
That's a fun scene.
And then
And
Gimli's like,
yeah, because
salted
that's
pork.
definitely extended. And I knew the scene too. That's part of that when when Grima Wormtongue fucking stabs Saruman. That was added. I knew that was part of the extended as well.
Yeah, that whole interaction.
I said to Christopher, I said, do you know what kind of a sound a man
Yeah.
makes when he's been stabbed in the back?
Yeah.
And he said, no, he did not know. And I proceeded to tell him what a sound a man would make when he was stabbed in the back.
Yep. So exactly what I was thinking about when that scene happened. I was like, oh, here it is.
This cold as ice SAS mofo,
Mhm.
just like enjoying his later years, being like, yes, I'll be in a Star Wars. Yes, I'll be Dracula.
Yes, I'm basically the basis for James Bond.
I lived through some shit. Like, let's just enjoy it.
Because was Ian Fleming was it his cousin or like
Whoa, I didn't know that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know that,
no,
but I
like
know that
legit,
he
is
met
legit.
Tolkien. He was like
He is-
best buds with Tolkien.
No, like Christopher Lee is legit, at least partially the inspiration for James Bond.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, dude.
Let's
It had to
go.
come from somewhere.
Yeah, Ian Fleming's related to him somehow.
That's just funny. But
Mhm.
I mean, gosh, what fun times? What good? Like Gimli, son of Gloin, being
Yep.
such a shining example. Um, now that somebody's pointed it out to me, I can't stop noticing it anytime I watch the scene, and it makes me laugh every single time.
Mhm.
It's at the very, very end of the trilogy, basically.
Yeah.
In the first kind of ending, when Frodo wakes
Yeah,
up
one
in
of the fake
Rivendell,
Yeah.
and like
Everybody's like getting their name chanted by Frodo as they enter the room.
yeah,
But then he's
Gandalf is like either in the room or like first, or he comes in first, and then other people follow, and he says everybody's name and like just
Mhm.
happy, and then Legolas comes in and he's just like,
Oh, you.
like
Right.
and it's like, yeah, the only thing Legolas ever directly says to Frodo in the entire trilogy is, "And my bow." That's it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He does
They,
talk about him a few times. I think Legolas says a few things, but he's more concerned about Merry and Pippin, actually.
He fucking, I mean, in the movies, like him and Gimli, like Gimli, I think speaks to him a couple times, like young hobbit, but like, yeah, I guess they're more just like along for the ride and concerned about the group as a whole rather
Well,
than
and the
speaking to
Fellowship
anybody.
breaks up pretty quick, right? I mean, relatively. It's they break up
It does, yeah. Like it really doesn't
relatively
last. Like it ends in the end of the first movie. So like
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah, and then they don't spend any time together. So it's,
when in the like, because I've been listening to the trilogy just
Yeah.
kind of happenstance, and like yeah, there's just so much more time spent with like specifically the four hobbits in the Shire before anything really
Yeah.
kicks off, and then yeah, Legolas is a talky motherfucker,
yeah.
and Gimli, son of Gloin, is still the best character in the goddamn series.
Still
Almost,
Gimli sounded glowing, motherfucker.
yeah, still.
He sounded particularly interested in the salted pork in that scene.
Yeah.
By the way. He was like salted pork.
Solid power.
But yeah, it was super fun. It didn't feel
God,
like, to me, it didn't feel like 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like,
I can
No,
imagine.
it flew by,
it was
especially
pretty
from.
chill. Like, yeah.
I was invested, and I came.
Yep.
I came out of it with a
Oh,
new
you came?
appreciation.
Oh, he came like 5 times. Dude.
Oh, there were so many people.
Yeah.
We're just having their cake.
When
and eating
Sam
it too.
stood up to Shelob, I came.
No,
Every
like
time the
I
guy
found a
showed
new
up.
appreciation for Andy Serkis. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Absolutely.
I knew he was great, but like seeing him like in the scene where he's talking to himself, I was like, nobody likes you.
Yeah.
That scene
Yeah.
alone, I
Yeah.
think could have won like the best Oscar.
He
Best,
should
like,
have. I mean, he should have won for his performance, not like the effects or anything like
no,
that.
no,
like,
no. But that like he made that character come to life, and it's like
100%.
it's regarded as like one of the best villains and best like antagonist
Dude,
in a movie.
Andy Serkis, like he's done how many fucking movies as Caesar in the Apes movies?
Yeah,
Like, god damn it.
Apes.
Like he's done King Kong shit, he's done
Yeah.
Godzilla. He's had a finger in a lot of different things, but yeah.
Yeah.
The like
He's the-
Genesis.
He's
being
Alfred in
Gollum.
Batman.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's a good
I just
Alfred, too.
like there's like a lot of things that I
Yes.
took away from like watching it
She was
again.
Jennifer Garner's co-worker or boss in 13 going on 30.
I would not have remembered that.
Sick.
I don't think I've seen that for a long time, if ever, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Another
Like,
thing I
Saw it on TV one time.
the stuff that I took away from that I had new appreciation for is that I just love hobbits and I love their lifestyle and like
Yeah.
what they try to strive for as beings, and I think what Tolkien was trying to say to like humanity is like live like hobbits. Live like
Oh, absolutely.
live
Yeah.
like happily, and you know, if a certain time calls for you to act upon something, don't hesitate. Just go along for the adventure and be whisked away, but then always remember that they're, you know, it's about the small things in life that make life worth, you know, like it's those things that you need to protect, right? It's those small things that we should cherish and protect. That's why we go to war. That's why we go to the precipice of doom and throw a ring into a lava, right?
We do what must be done because I don't know.
It's also that kind of
either
like, you know,
nobody else will.
anyone has the capability of, you know, overcoming great odds to, you know,
Yeah, even the smallest among us can make the greatest difference.
to do great things. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Bunch
you
of
know,
his,
Sam
World
being
War
one of the best
analogies in
bros.
there.
Sam being one of the best bros in all of
Just a
literature.
couple dudes
Dude,
being
Sam is so
bros.
fucking dope. Like he's always just making little comments and being like, "Oh, I'd love to see the elves and I like magic." And God, he's just always the best.
It's just
so pure.
yeah, it's
so pure and never
Sean-
corrupted at all.
Sean
just a
Astin
couple
was like a
guys
fucking
being dudes being
pitch-perfect
bros.
casting.
That's it. Just a couple guys being dudes being bros. It was great.
In my opinion, one of the most indelic things to come out of the trilogy, besides the movies themselves, is the score by Howard Shore. Because oh my god, when the movies like start and it's that you're like, oh, we're in the fantasy land now.
Oh yeah,
You
there's
get the
nothing.
Sneaking across the misty mountain. Oh god, I know.
See, there was parts like that I would have appreciated from our viewing. Is like
And they're running across a field. and
either
shit.
when that
Or
scene they're all
running through-
climbing
running
up over the
through,
mountain and they have that big
They're running
score
through
sweep.
fucking Moria.
Yeah, that. But
It's
like,
like-
I was expecting the
Oh.
audience to like even chant death after
Yeah.
you know, like
When they're about to fight.
when they were about to fight, they were about to charge on Pelennor Field.
Yep.
Like he said it, and
oh
he's
my
like,
god.
for the like, he just says
Um,
death, and everybody's
for the-
yelling death. I recorded that.
Lane wanted to-
I
Lane, I think Lane did. Yeah, you did say. I think it was Lane who said he was just like, yeah, if I was here for it, because when he was gonna leave, I think was talking about how he wanted to shout death or whatever at that part.
I recorded that because I was expecting people to start shouting death in the theater.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Nobody
Nobody
did.
did.
But
No,
I was
it's
like,
just the meme
everybody
everyone
else is
talked about.
talking throughout. Like,
Everybody else.
The memes. there's a part I forget which scene it is. Lane pointed out to me because it was good too. He's like this is like he's like in the extended cuts of movies is like this is one of my favorite little music drops, and it happens only once, like that music theme or whatever happens only once, and it's in this one little scene. I forget what it is, but it was just like it was actually like super cool too.
Couldn't tell you, but I mean,
Forget that's the other part of the extended cut. You get more Howie Shore fucking music.
oh, he's sure.
Howie Shore, dude.
There was a lot of times when Eric and I would like when King Theoden says like, "Hail, the Victoria's dead." Like I cheers, or like I put up my cup of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
There's a
Groucho put up his.
I got a couple of new euphemisms for going to take a poop out of it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a cave troll in the tunnels. And then the other one is when Theoden is talking to, or not Theoden, Theoden. Who's
yes?
I'm feeling stupid right now. My brain. Rohan, King of Rohan. That's Theoden, right?
That's Theoden. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Sorry, brain fart.
You're good.
No, when he was talking with Eowyn, and he was just like, "She should take my seat in the Golden Halls," and I was just like, "Taking my seat in the Golden Hall, dude? Hell yeah, dude!"
So here's just one off the top of my head. Oh God.
Yeah.
Why is it not in my head anymore? Hold on. Come back to me. 360.
540.
Cave troll in the tunnel.
Oh, when you gotta wait until somebody asks, like you get up to go to the restroom. You gotta wait until somebody asks, like, where you going? You gotta say, a wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Like, this shit's knocking on the door, baby.
Well, that's just like the
Getting a visit from Radagast the Brown.
The lines that you can say, like the lines that are said in the movie that can also be said during sex.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not.
Well, that's a meme that's gone around, just like, or like a Instagram questionnaire or whatever, like a wrong answers only kind of thing, and then where Pippin goes, "It comes in pints."
my quote that I find myself saying a lot, like, I don't know, I just like, I think about a lot of different quotes, but I always circle back to the Gandalf one where he's in the he's in Bag End and he's like, "Bilbo Baggins, I am not some god of deep works," and then he's
When he
like,
gets big,
growing and the room's getting dark and shit. And
poor Bilbo, and he like turns into like a scared dog. He's like,
I'm here to help.
yeah, he hugs him.
He hugs him. He's like, "Oh, you're scared."
One of the things, like, because like I said, it's been a long time since I've watched the movies. Period. You know what I mean? Like I watched, like I said, the Fellowship extended like a while back, but like just seeing all of them has been a while. So like things coming back to me as I watched it, and I was just like, God, fucking Pippin's just a master at pissing off Gandalf. Like he's the only like everybody else.
He's his own
With
troll.
everybody else, like Gandalf, like if they fuck up or whatever, Gandalf's cool. Fucking Pippin just does one thing wrong and fucking sends Gandalf over the edge right away, and it's amazing. Just pissed off every time that man fucking breathes.
Fool of a took, dude.
Well, if it wasn't for Pippin,
Cool of a fuck, dude.
The Balrog wouldn't show up, and Gandalf wouldn't have become the White Wizard that we know him. Like,
we can't say that for sure. But
hey, everything has a purpose, and Eru Ilúvatar probably put that into motion.
Eru Ilúvatar made Pippin so curious that he would look and investigate the dead
Well,
soldier.
he invented the Tooks, the Took family lineage, to be clumsy and dummy.
He put the sense of adventure in the Took line.
Well, inquisitiveness and like wants to know, like, what's this?
Yeah,
like,
curiosity and adventure.
Is this a book? Is this a skeleton?
They're
bone?
leaning towards their pull to adventure.
Yeah,
it all makes more sense too once you learn like how old they are too. Like Frodo's like the oldest one out of the group, out of the four. He's like 60 or something like that, and like.
In the
In
book,
Hobbit age.
he's even older than that. I think he's like
Is he?
80,
'Cause I know he's
90
older.
or something.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he I mean, he's older only because like he inherits the ring when Bilbo leaves, and then he doesn't
Yeah.
immediately leave the Shire. He sticks in the
No,
Shire for I
he's
think like
fucks around for a
10
while.
years or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. And then like Pippin, I think, is like the youngest. Like he's legitimately like young in the books, if I remember correctly, too.
Legitimately young.
Yeah. And that's why there's so much of the like the master stuff with like or Mr. Frodo and all that shit with Sam too. Is because he's younger, considerably younger than Frodo as well.
He's also Frodo and Bilbo's gardener.
Yeah, Gardner,
Him
yeah.
and his dad, the old gaffer, are, or maybe it is his like grandfather, but like him and his family basically have been working for the Bagginses for years.
Yep.
So it's not like indentured servitude, but it is
No.
that kind of like
Yeah.
that weird thing of like, you know,
Right.
people serving other people willingly for long, long, long times.
But yeah, I always
Mr.
like
Frodo,
now
come in,
once I
boss.
learned about that, it was like
Mr.
it
Frodo.
it adds another dimension to their dynamic that is otherwise kind of lost when you're watch the movie and you don't know that. You just assume they're all like just the same age. And
Oh,
then so
God.
some of the stuff kind of comes off like so like it makes more sense why Pippin is inquisitive and gets into a bunch of trouble, why Sam is all even more like, you know, I mean obviously since he works for him, but like the all the very respectful Mister stuff with Frodo and like just adds another level.
If I could wish for one more thing, and it's a pretty big ask, but honestly, like I would be so fucking happy, is to
That
have
meat was back on the menu.
oh, meat's back on the menu, boys.
Man flesh.
Man flesh.
No, like I just wish that at that time that he made those 3 movies, he fucking went the extra mile and was like, we're gonna do the goddamn Hobbit, everybody. Stick around. We're finding a Bilbo. We're getting some dwarves. We're not fucking around here. Because it really is like as one I love Middle Earth. It's such a wonderful setting. And I think that story itself encapsulates so much of that world that is like enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but I'm just glad that we got what we got. And John Rhys Davies doing second at bat for fucking Treebeard, like
Yeah, Treebeard.
what a if I was him, I'd be feeling pretty big in my pants, just being like, I'm Gimli, son of Gloin, and I'm Treebeard, two
big
awesome
bearded
characters.
motherfuckers.
Well,
Yeah,
Andy Serkis was Gollum and Smeagol.
Yes,
I firmly stand by that. I'm half hobbit, half dwarf in life.
Yeah, I strive to be Hobbit, but I think I'm just man.
yeah. I think I'm just a stupid man. I wish I were Hobbit.
I'm yeah.
Or dwarf, even dwarf.
I don't think
Hobbit dwarf,
I don't think I'd ever be elf.
I think I have some elf tendencies where I can just like stand in nature and like be silent and just watch what's happening around me. Like, oh, look at that bird, and not say anything for hours and just be like, ah, this is nice.
I'm most like a hobbit, but I definitely am visually dwarfish, and also in some of my attitudes sometimes can get dwarfish. I can be stubborn.
If we still had the opportunity to make Don Quixote shirts, I would force you to put that as your slogan on the back of your shirt. Visually dwarfish.
Visually dwarfish. Oh yeah, dude.
I think I'm also part Nazgul or maybe one of the corrupted 9.
Oh,
like I'm just a screecher. Like
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
that was also something that was like piercing my ears and like watching it
Yeah,
in theaters.
guys. Every time the Nazgul showed up, I'm just like, shut up, dude.
Calm down.
Calm down, bro.
Yeah.
Is it you or the creature shrieking? Is it both of you? Are you both pieces of shit? You're both pieces of shit.
Witch King of Angmar.
But I was saying to Bracho, just kind of put a button on this discussion, that this would probably be one of the last times I see all 3 films extended in theaters for a good while.
Yeah.
Quite possibly, yeah.
But like it was a completely worth it. Very cheap, like
Yeah.
$12 for a ticket, and then get discounted concessions throughout the day. It was awesome.
Until you have the opportunity to like put on glasses at home and just enter a theater there and sit in the
That's
the
gonna
most
come
comfortable spot in
pretty
your
soon.
house and sit in your virtual theater and watch whatever you want, so you can do your marathon, and Bradshaw can be sitting in his most comfortable spot in his place with his glasses on, and you guys can just look at each other and talk to each other and be there together.
Oh, dude.
Like VR, but better.
Fucking, I didn't fall asleep either. Never once.
How the fuck does that happen, Eric? Because like,
I don't know.
I'm not like,
especially like for most of Two Towers, I had super seat going on too since Lane was gone. I was maxing, relaxing. Yeah, didn't happen.
yeah.
No naps. I mean, it's
Well,
happened to me many times before in movie theaters,
I-
but it didn't
I
this
know.
time.
I know
Especially
it
when I
has.
have super seat. Especially when I have super seat. Definitely happens quite a bit.
I've been there when it's happened that you've not.
Yeah.
That super seat hasn't been even an
It
idea.
existed. It wasn't even an exist at that point.
But we lost you for the second to the last episode of Twin Peaks, and
I
was
know,
just like,
dude.
oh shucks, man.
Fucking, I was still like going into that first one. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
I'm
Fucking
awake, man.
go,
Here we
got
go.
it. And then I got so comfortable, dude. I was just chilling, and then fucking boom, gone.
I will say what's really fun too that Bradshaw and I were doing was like every time the ring was like corrupting people and like talking, we would go like
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to which was fun because like I can imagine like when they're putting that together, like let's have dark speech, and it's just like
yeah, now Tyler, now we gotta do the fucking Skywalker saga marathon they're doing.
I saw they're doing
Oh my
that's
gosh.
coming
All
pretty soon.
9 movies. 22
No.
hours.
No,
Yep.
absolutely
I'll sit through
not.
6. I'll sit through 6.
Yep. All 9.
All
22 hours. It's like, that's over May the 4th, right? Is that when it is? Or whenever
Oh. I didn't see that, but I remember going to see the one they had was it
Either-
like 2 years ago at the Fargo Theater. They did just the episode 1 or not episode 1, episode 4.
It's either on the anniversary of the release.
I don't want to have.
Yeah, it's either on the anniversary of the release or it's on May the 4th. I don't remember.
Well, cool. Well, maybe we'll do something. I don't know. But yeah, this was a fun experience. An experience I probably won't have for a while until maybe I bring my son or something. If I get him interested in fantasy, I don't know.
Anniversary or
Lord
something.
Be with you, dude.
But yeah, it was,
Oh man,
it was cool.
this, because I own all 3 of these extended versions on YouTube, basically on Google, so I can just very easily pull them up and watch them. And a lot of times, I'll like just like watch Fellowship as I'm drifting off to sleep, and that beginning of like Bilbo's birthday party and everything happening in the Shire is just
Goddamn Sackville Baggins is just
so fucking pleasant and like
Yeah, it is.
wonderful. And this really feels like something that's like Thanksgiving-esque,
Yep.
like
It-
time of
it's-
year
it's
to
definitely
watch at least Fellowship.
It's a seasonal treat that I take is like around the fall. It's like perfect fall time movie. And like I watch the Fellowship in the fall and then I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch the other ones. I just have to.
If you feel the need, continue on, and if not, you can just leave it there. I
But
think,
then,
and
yeah,
be
I'm
fine
like
with
you
it.
where it's a seasonal thing, but like I put on some parts to, kind of go to sleep to also. It's like I'll just keep playing the film while I'm going to sleep, or even like just the soundtrack too. Some of the soundtrack stuff is really good, like the relaxing lo-fi versions that people make. Even though Howard Shore is great, but I don't want to hear fucking drums of like Isengard like brum, 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 bum, bum, when I'm like going to bed,
and like blaring horns and stuff.
I want to hear the pleasant Shire music and stuff like that.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's
Bum, bum, bum.
it's worth noting that the marathon coincided with in the books the like date that the ring went into Mordor or went into Mount Doom.
Yep, on the date that it
okay.
was destroyed.
Yeah, March 25th, I think. So it was the 24th when we saw it, but they were doing it both days, the 24th and the 25th.
And we pretty much
Well,
got out
yeah.
of there.
Fucked up, boys.
We final, like the final, goodbye and the credits were rolling as
Yeah.
midnight happened, as midnight struck.
I suppose,
so, like,
yeah.
that's cool.
So it ended, yeah, true.
Well, that's pretty good timing then.
So yeah, that's all we
It
have
was
to
a
say
good time.
about that. It was a good time. It was fun.